Hello, 10A. Thank you very much for those of you that have completed your presentation detailed plan. If you haven't, it is actually a requirement of the assessment. So if I don't receive it, you will fail that part of the assessment. So it's really important that you get that through to me. The reason that we do the detailed plan to start off with is so that we can create our PowerPoint presentation in a logical order. So it's the same when you're doing an essay or a description. We need to make sure that we're putting the plan together appropriately to begin with. So today I'm going to take you through an example of my expectations in terms of your PowerPoint presentation. You're going to be able to do a draft PowerPoint presentation, which you will send to me. I will give you specific feedback about that, and then you can complete your final PowerPoint presentation that you will deliver later on in the class. So to start off with, you can see that I've chosen a background, which I think is nice and fun. So whatever background you'd like to choose, just don't make sure it's just not blank white. You can create your own depending on what level of computing skills you've got. I know some of you are probably really good at PowerPoint, so I'm excited to see what you've got. So I've just started with The Incredible Unicorn and by Fiona Leake. So your title, different to the description, a presentation can definitely be more vibrant and include emotive words. So those emotive words get people interested in what we're going to talk about. So rather than just writing the unicorn, I've looked at the incredible unicorn to hopefully get my audience excited. This is my first slide. So I've started off with a video of some actual live unicorns. So it's just something nice and short. This can go for about 2 minutes. This is what I've chosen to do, but I'm just trying to indicate that you can be imaginative in how you present your animal. If you would like, for instance, if you've got your animal is a lion, it might be really interesting to have a video of the lion actually hunting or running and chasing something. If I was doing something about a spider, I'd definitely have a little video of a spider jumping or a spider sucking the blood out of a fly. So those sort of things would just make it a little bit more interesting. So for me, I decided to have a quick video of some actual unicorns to introduce and engage my audience. You don't have to follow exactly the structure that I'm giving you. I'm just giving you an example of what you could do. Next, my next page is my contents page. So I'm going to tell everybody in the audience what we're going to be talking about today. So we're talking about unicorns. I'm going to start off with some scientific details. Then I'd like to talk to you about appearance, the habitat and the diet, also the lifestyle and breeding, as well as behavioural characteristics. We'll move on to some interesting facts, why they're actually endangered, how we can actually help them, followed by some question time, and finally references. Okay, so this is all of the information. Now, this is a high level. If someone came to me and were going to give me a contents or a PowerPoint presentation this detailed, they'd certainly get a very, very, very high mark. So the more effort you put into your PowerPoint presentation, as well as your actual presentation yourself, you're going to get a great mark, not only for 001, but also for your computing. So my next slide, I'm going to introducing the unicorn. So this is where I'm giving my scientific detail. So the scientific name is the Hippomonoceros. First discovered in ancient Greece in 200 BC. You can see up here I've got a picture of ancient Greece to give a little bit more oomph to my comment. It belongs to the Mythos family and it is a mammal, which means that it's a warm-blooded animal. And here I've got a nice picture of one of the original unicorns that were discovered. Now I'm going to move on to appearance. I'm trying to make my slide a little bit more interesting. So rather than just having the image over here and then the information on the right-hand side, I've decided to put the animal in the middle and then indicate all of the different areas where they're located. So you can see multicolored mane, one horn on the cranium meaning the head, 4 legs and hooves, multicolored tail. I'd probably talk about the eyes and the eye color, the muzzle as well, how many ears they have, that they've got fur, which is quite short hair fur, and the fact that different colored unicorns will have a different colored hair, but they're usually, their horn is the same color as their fur. So again, now instead of using, so you'll see there that I actually used sound as well. So rather than just having I've got a video, I've got some pictures, I've got a diagram, you could use graphs as well. And now I've also used a video, which is just the sound. So again, if you were doing a lion, you might do a lion roaring. Or if you were doing a bird, you could have images of the bird singing and talking to or communicating with other birds. So again, think outside the box. What can you do to make your PPT as interesting and engaging as possible? So what makes a good PowerPoint presentation? One slide, one idea. So if you're talking about appearance, that slide should just be about the appearance. If you're talking about the habitat, just should be about the habitat. Limit your information and only use dot points. Having full sentences, especially if you've copied that directly from the internet, that would be, first of all, plagiarism, but also it's too much information. The audience will stop listening to you and they'll start actually reading the information that's on the slide, which means that your presentation isn't going to be as strong as it could be. So you just pick up the dot points. No full sentences, just the dot point main ideas. And please remember that the PowerPoint presentation is not for you. It's not for you to read off. You need to know your information backwards and forwards and be able to speak about the animal confidently because you know that information, which hopefully you do now that you've completed your description. Make sure you put some images that are relevant to the point, not just the same image in each of the slides. If you're going to talk about the fur, maybe have a close-up of the fur. If you're going to talk about them eating, maybe you could have a picture of the animal hunting, or for instance, if it was a bear, you could have them collecting salmon out of a river. Consider videos, music, and images. So different things that you could use to make it interesting. If at the very beginning of your PowerPoint, again, if you were doing a lion, you could even do a roar of the lion from your PPT to actually frighten your audience, make them laugh, and get them really engaged and interested. Use the same font throughout your PPT and try and make the look very similar. So using the same font and making sure that you keep a consistent look. This makes it nice and neat and it makes it flow better. It also makes it look far more professional. See if you can grab some interesting information. So interesting information about the animal. So don't keep just to the, it looks like this, it is this, it is. There's probably some interesting facts. For instance, the sad fact that pandas usually have 2 cubs, but only one survives. Or the fact that turtles will have hundreds and hundreds of eggs which they lay, but then the poor little baby turtles have to run to the beach, so run into the ocean, while birds are aware of when this is happening and they come down and try and steal and eat the poor little baby turtles. So only about a quarter of them survive. So just any interesting facts. And make sure it's well organised, which is why you did your detailed presentation plan. And finally, make sure you don't forget your references. There is a requirement that you have a minimum of 4 references. They must be academic references and you must use the correct formatting. This is for both 001 as well as your computer assessment. If you do not have this, you will fail that element of the assessment. Here is the format that you must use. So the title of the article, where the article was from, most of your information will have come from online, available at the website, and then when it was accessed. You need to use this exact format. So what you're going to be doing for the rest of this class is I would like you to start working on your PowerPoint presentation. Again, as you can see here, I've kept it in a nice logical order, but I've also included something interesting, which is interesting facts. And I'd really encourage you guys to look further into your animal. What is interesting about them? I'm going to talk about why they're endangered and then how we can help, and then prepare myself for my question time. So now that you have completed your presentation plan, it's time to move that information into our PowerPoint presentation. I look forward to seeing the outcomes of this. As usual, please contact me on WeChat if you have any questions or would like some further information or suggestions. If you complete your PPT early and want to send through just to double check, I'm happy to give some further suggestions to make sure that you're going to get the best possible outcome from your presentation assessment. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next class.